here with Tracy Hinton. Hello. That's not who she was. It's been either the route that was enforced. What the?
I kind of realized that happiness and pull it out. And you were the first person on my
job doing that. But I think there was some
for you to help delve deeper, accept of me, what's, with my friends. I started stripping all that away.
Things that I see that I know you experienced us learn how to be successful like that. I know some people look at that and say, well, I know
from complimenting them, regardless of what other people them to be, and to kind of break away from. And I really see them, and I just want to help that we start to buckle under. And I think
so we have all of this energy pushing the soul's energy, which is powerful, down in the thyroid and every other part of the body.
One of the many, to tell the universe back, yes, this is what I
never forget yours, and many people who were in the course with you won't.
Living spaces and their closets. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. There's a need for this. I need to do it. And people in my immediate universe need me to do this. So it was just.
Yeah, and I want to say something about that, because one of the things that you mentioned earlier about once you step into your power, the universe starts to reflect that.
Yes, it does.
You had people in your day job talking about how awesome your outfits were.
Yes.
A woman at the grocery store recognized you. I remember you bringing all of these wonderful reflections of how you had stepped into your power back into the course to not only share your excitement and celebration, but also to encourage everyone else who was feeling what you were. It's like, I don't know if I can do that or be that or show up like that. And who am I to say I'm a designer or a personal stylist when I'm sitting in my car doing my elevator pitch on my smartphone, right? And so that was, I think, a brilliant way that the universe was winking at you to say, keep going, Tracy, you're on the right path. And how did that feel when you got that type of recognition from strangers?
Yes, it felt lovely. It was wonderful. I was keeping to my that. I was dressing monochromatically in gray from head to toe, heather gray, just very, muted colors. And I started wearing colors that spoke to me, colors that I have in my environment. I started putting on my body because I loved these colors. And I just remember thinking, it's okay to show up big. I was afraid to show up big, and I stopped being afraid, but I also was more accepting of others the more I accepted myself. So people were treating me the way I was treating myself and the way I was treating them.
Isn't that something? Everything, really when it comes right down to it, when you start to step into your soul's power and you really start to exert it into the world, you realize that the universe serves you up an exact reflection of how you are living and how you are showing up for yourself.
Yes.
So
and
we don't go ahead.
Oh, and I still have, fears that my wonderful boss is still kind of works me through. It's been ingrained, some of these things, they're so rigidly ingrained in our minds. And just doing the daily gratitude journal and daily brags really shifted my mindset. And I started looking for things to be grateful for and looking for things that I rocked at. And I think that's giving myself that permission gives other people permission to do the same. And then it's just like a love fest. Everybody's just loving and encouraging each other. And it's a great place to be. It's a great place to be in life.
And when you start doing that, I sometimes equate this to if you're in a cave for years and you step outside, it's going to be freaking bright. And the natural reflex might be turn away from the brightness and go back to the darkness because it's what you know, and it's too bright. It almost hurts a bit, even though it feels wonderful. It's like, oh, no, that's too much for me.
It's what you're adjusted to.
Yes. So you had to adjust to the new normal of stepping into your soul's power, of being seen as beautiful and awesome and a stylist and putting great outfits together and having great energy that people were naturally attracted to. And so in order to keep that momentum, there's daily journaling, there's rituals, there's some discipline of the mind. When the gremlins start to talk, we shut them down. Hey, gremlin, not on my watch. I'm feeling awesome. Those old ideas, those old stories, goodbye.
Yes.
Hit the road, Jack.
And it took journaling twice a day for a period of time for me to get through that.
Right. And I don't know about you. I've been working on this for a while. There's still these things that come up every now and then. And so to me, that daily ritual is really important. Yes. So
it is fun though to end up coaching the coach. That's fun. The best.
So, not to name names, but as you're pursuing your passion work and trying to generate an identity and a reputation, we kind of talked about how we could add that to the Kick-Ass course, that the workshop that you were actually just graduating from. And that prompted other conversations, did it not?
Yes.
And the interesting thing is, you could have said to me, you know what, Mo, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to put things into the course yet. I'm not really a stylist. No. And how different would things be 2 months later?
I'd be doing the same thing I was always doing, and I'd still be getting what I was gotten. You know, I have my postcards on the wall in my front room and my bathroom that say, "Afraid, be kick-ass." And I do things afraid, and it ends up feeling kick-ass.
Do it afraid. And we love that saying.
Yes.
Had you not said yes to the opportunity for someone to kind of like pull you along a little bit. Hey, Tracy, you're doing great work. You have some talent. How about if I put something to help the ladies in the course, to have some personal styling tips? And I'm sure you didn't go, oh, yeah, no problem. I'm doing it all day long. I knew it brought out some fear.
It did, because I thought, who am I to say? And I really had to think authentically, what are my thoughts and feelings about encouraging women to bring out their inner beauty?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I did do it, but I wanted my new normal to be in a better place. And so I stretched outside of that current comfort zone I was in.
Right.
Out of that, my normal becomes better, happier, more expansive. I'm learning, I'm growing. I'm not staying in that cave where it's nice and dark and familiar and known and predictable. I had to step out of that. And now it's becoming a new normal that I'm loving so much better than that dark, dreary cave. Yeah. It was not fun.
So here's the dynamics for those of you who are listening to what Tracy and I are talking about. Here's what happened. So Tracy's working on her style sheet, creating a PDF form that we can put in the workshop, and we just happen to be talking about it as, I don't know if you had already graduated, Tracy, or you were just about to graduate from the 12-week course. And I'm saying, hey, how's it going at your day job? And you kind of said, you know, boss was promising stuff, this was going well, but all of a sudden things are kind of not on the right path. And I happen to be looking for an executive assistant and someone to help me with my growing business. And one thing led to another. And here we are talking together on Facebook Live, partly because you are working for me and partly because you're an awesome personal stylist on a big growth curve. And I wanted to make sure that your story is a lot of women's stories, Tracy. We've talked about this so much. And your courage to step into your power, and one step at a time. And one of the things I hear all the time from women, I want to be this personal stylist, but I've got this day job that's getting in the way. what I always say is this: be your best, highest self in the day job, and the great, wonderful next steps of your life will appear. If you keep complaining about the fact that you're in a day job that's not your dream job, you're going to keep focusing on what it's not, and you're going to get more of what it's not. And you found a way to keep stepping into your power, keeping your day job because you had to pay your bills and keep on with your life. Personal stylist thing was getting some traction, but it wasn't enough to replace your day job at the time. And it was something that you needed to keep working on, build your confidence about, and build a clientele. So you become your highest self at work, at the day job. And what happens is all of a sudden we keep evolving and expanding, and the day job doesn't quite match up with us energetically anymore. It's no longer okay to be underemployed, undervalued, underseen, underdeveloped. And so here comes another potential employer, sight unseen, who grabs this newfound vibrational energy and pulls you forward. Mm-hmm. And it sounds all real convenient that it happens to be me that did that. But I'm going to tell you this. It would have happened from someone anyway. Mm-hmm.
Yes. The stars were just aligned there. But another thing that I learned in the course was visualizing what I wanted my present reality to be and where I saw myself in the future. And what I visualized was having somebody who knew me and knew my personality and knew I was competent offer me a job without having to fill out another application, without having to interview and try and sell myself again. And I just thought, I want to travel. All these things that you were offering were what I had previously visualized a couple months prior. So I didn't know to visualize things. I didn't know how to make things come to fruition. Yeah. And so that was huge. And I think the fact that it was you was complete serendipity.
It sure was. And there was an energetic match on both sides. Make no mistake about it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm just looking through the comments that we have here, Tracy, and getting a little bit comfortable, maybe not so much because I'm not sure what this really looks like on Facebook, but getting a little bit comfortable with a new format and a new kind of control panel here. So I'm going to pop the comment off, but I think what I didn't do, there you go. I didn't have your name on the thing for the whole time. So we're going to wrap up with your beautiful name right underneath there and give you the proper recognition to tell folks who you are. And I am so delighted that you joined me today for my Facebook Live for the Motivational Monday. And folks, if you are ready to take the same journey for yourself that Tracy was just describing, I want to give you a link, and I'm going to be able to just type this right in so easily. I am just loving it. Of course, now I have Tracy to usually help me with this, but she's my guest now. So hey, folks, I'm doing it. I can rock it. So book your career strategy session, folks. That link, I think I spelled it right. That link is right there. And you may have to type it into your browser. It's mofaul.com/strategy. Let's get into who you are, what you want to do, what's not working. Let's uncover the problem, because that's the first step, is it not, Tracy? Kind of uncover, pull a few layers back and recognize what's in our way. The only way to really get out of something is to recognize what's in our way and to then get at it. And so you were so courageous, and I know you had kind of a fun time doing that as well.
Yes, absolutely. And it was fun hearing with all the clients that were in the course with me. We became, you become a tribe, and that saying, your vibe attracts your tribe, and it really does. And it was wonderful hearing you hone in on everybody else's natural gifts and talents, and hearing the light bulbs go off in their voice while you were coaching them. I mean, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal to transform and to see transformation taking place, essentially right in front of me. I think it was amazing.
Yeah. And the interesting thing, it's almost like you're living multiple lifetimes by experiencing the group dynamic, because you don't have to maybe go through all of the obstacles that other people go through to hear me coaching them through. You're like, oh, okay. So when I get criticized for something like that, that's what I'm going to do too. And you take the notes down, and you take in the experience and the transformation yourself without having to have all of those experiences personally.
Right.
And I know that most of the women who are in the course, they're listening in and they're saying, Mo, that was when Tracy just said that was me. I can't believe it. And then Tracy, I know when so-and-so would talk, you'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe that person just had the experience or a very similar experience to what I've been dealing with and going through or went through, and I didn't know what to do with. And thanks, Mo, for that. And there's a lot of that in the dynamics in the course. And that,
incredible for me.
Yeah, it's a really great advantage to be able to experience other people's challenges and overcoming them and watching them transform. Not only do you know that it's possible for you when you see that, but it heightens your vibrational level to see it. They say when we actually even just see someone smile, it increases our energy. Mm-hmm. So when we see someone smile, when we see someone do a kind act, that's even another one. And when we see someone evolve and transform, it's an amazing feeling. Let me just see if I've got any other comments coming through. Tracy, is there anything else you'd like to share before we sign off? This has been so fun visiting with you on this, and I love hearing about your experience.
Thank you. I think that you have a gift, and your natural gift and talent is to really help people dive in and pull out what's already yearning to break.
Yeah.
And you give people the encouragement, the permission, and the ability to do it and to act on it. So it's not just finding it out, it's then what? You give them their why, and you give them their then what. And so I think that's amazing.
All right. Well, thank you for all of that. I will receive the positive kudos, and I want to say kind of back at you, it was a brilliant transformation that you allowed yourself to go through, and you worked yourself through. Journey's never over. It's never done. But it gets better. The better it gets, the better it gets.
Yes. Thank you.
And, the messages keep getting a little bit more crisper and cleaner. And as we continue to evolve, our light shines on others as well. And I know that you are firmly believing all of that. As you live your life, you're seeing it.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Tracy, it's almost like I don't want to go, but we must get on with other things. And thanks, folks, for joining us today. This is Coach Mo Faul here with my friend. Let's call her my friend now. She is also my coworker and a brilliant, lovely client success story. Tracy, have a fabulous rest of your evening there in Utah. And folks, don't forget, if you are ready to get started, dive into a mofaul.com/strategy session and let's get going. Let's get going with your career and your life. Have a great one. Tracy, thanks again for joining us.
Good night.